Good evening and greetings from Manila. This particular study related to Japan-Philippines Economic Partnership Agreement, or JPEPA, tells of the narratives of 6 Filipino nurses, 1 male and 5 females, who passed Japan's national board examination. Next, at the time of the interview, the youngest was 27 years old and the oldest was 37. All the EPA nurse interviewees are registered nurses in the Philippines. The Japanese staff of the hospitals that employed them were also interviewed to validate the EPA nurses' narratives. Through semi-structured interviews conducted in their respective places in Japan, the following are the significant findings. 1. The EPA nurses are grateful for the generous support of their respective hospitals while they were adjusting to the new environment and preparing for the board examination. However, the type of support varies from one hospital to another depending on each hospital's plan, strategy, and resources. 2. The so-called nurse candidates or trainees, until such time that they passed the Japanese examination, felt their nursing skills are reduced by engaging in menial jobs. And examples of these tasks are distributing tea and meals to patients, changing diapers, dusting, mopping, cleaning the toilet, and repairing wheelchairs that nursing assistants in the Philippines render. But in Japan, these tasks are typically performed by both the nurses and nursing aides. This situation manifests an instance of a gap in the scope of nursing practice between the two countries that must be addressed and bridged. 3. Even after passing the examination, both the EPA nurses and the hospital staff see the need for continual support for language education, since as a nurse, the tasks require proficiency in communication with medical staff and patients, reading and writing nurses' notes, eventually integrating them more fully into the hospital's workforce. On a positive note, the EPA nurses unanimously feel that they are well received at their respective workplaces as licensed nurses. They also feel that their patients like them. Salary-wise, they receive the same compensation and enjoy other benefits similar to their Japanese nurse counterparts while performing nursing functions at the bedside. Another significant finding is concerning personal and professional plans. The narratives reveal that EPA nurses do not have a clear vision of their career path and plans in Japan. Aside from the difficult Japanese language and the high cost of living, another factor is Japan's restricted migration policies on foreign families. The EPA nurse who is married is not sure how to manage her family life should she continue in Japan after passing the examination. For instance, she may bring her spouse to Japan, but he can work only up to 28 hours a week. Also, Japanese schools are far from ready to render sophisticated multicultural education. Therefore, EPA nurses and their spouses may not comfortably raise their children in Japan. The findings from the narratives of the EPA nurses suggest that 1. Japanese language training be continued after passing the board examination. 2. Filipino nurse candidates stay in Japan be extended for a few more years after failing the examination. 3. Retaking of the examination by those who have returned to the Philippines be facilitated and given one more chance. Given Japan's aging population on the one hand and the Philippines' competent educational system in nursing on the other, it will be mutually beneficial for both countries if, number 4 recommendation, under JPEPA, Filipino nurses, that is, registered nurses in the Philippines, be accepted as professionals in Japan. Number 5, Japan's migration policies be friendlier to foreign workers to allow comfortable and secure living. And 6, measures for brain circulation and brain gain be crafted by facilitating the emigrants' return to their home country, the Philippines, after working in Japan. In taking these considerations, it is hoped that the Philippines and Japan will continue to improve the implementation of JPEPA to bring benefits to both source, the Philippines, and destination countries like Japan. Thank you for listening.